permanent collection and special exhibits, including photographs by Bruce Mozart and mixed media by Christina Deanne. Hours are Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays, noon to 5 p.m. The museum is closed Mondays through Wednesdays. Masks are required, and visitor occupancy is being monitored. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Partly sunny with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 83 to 86, and partly cloudy tonight with a heavy shower and a low of 73 to 75. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine Wednesday with a thunderstorm in one or two spots in the afternoon. High tomorrow 80 to 84, then mostly cloudy Thursday with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Welcome back to the show. AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, as we're moving right along for a busy Tuesday show. So we're glad to bring it to you, keeping you a little informed as well as a little entertained. It's increased a little bit in temperature out there, 75 degrees with 96% humidity. More sun breaking through, but we are expected to have some afternoon showers and thunderstorms, 40% chance, and then a high of 86 today. Moving along to round out AM Ocala Live for today. Well, it's an idea to kind of get the conversation rolling. It's an important question, and it comes up like this. It says, do you have a healthy gut? How about your children? People are catching on to the benefits and what it takes to have a healthy digestive system, which experts say should begin at birth. And with that in mind, to get this conversation going, on the phone we've got Dr. Whitney Casares to talk a little bit more about it. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
And let me preface by saying I understand firsthand what it means to have an important gut. I myself have been diagnosed when I was a teenager with Crohn's disease, and I completely understand what it means to maintain and have a healthy gut. But I wanted you to talk a little bit about what you feel in your credentials and your career of what the listeners need to know about the importance of a healthy gut.
Absolutely. We know that establishing a healthy balance of good bacteria within the gut microbiome or environment is really important for digestive health for babies and for children and even adults, but that it's also important for overall wellness. We know that the gut microbiome is linked really closely to things like developing a strong immune system, to the ability of digesting nutrients from the foods that we absorb, and then also communicating with functions of the brain. Gut health, we're finding, really is health.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I like when you mentioned with the function of the brain, that's when it comes into what we've always heard growing up is whether or not you got the guts. But it's the idea of knowing where to begin. And with that being said, it's the idea of how we should consider a baby's gut and their health and right at birth and what we can do to ensure that a baby has a healthy gut.
Yeah, we know, experts know that in the first 2 to 3 years of a baby's life, we really have this opportunity. It's this critical moment to help establish that healthy gut microbiome. And parents should really pay attention to 3 core promising areas as it relates to this: early feeding choices, the inclusion of prebiotics and probiotics, and then when it comes to introducing solid foods and making sure they're making the healthiest choices possible for their kiddos.
And with the healthiest choice possible, I think we're going to stay away from hot dogs, right? As we know, they become so popular, not just babies, but when we think about
right?
1 year old when they develop their teeth and everything, that's an easy, quick meal to think of getting them some protein. But it's like you said, making smarter choices about the diet and everything else. And, with that in mind, you mentioned prebiotics, probiotics, they're I guess what you call like buzzwords right now. They're even a big play with adults as it's kind of hit on the market a little bit more so now with like how they sell yogurt, right? It's even to the idea of probiotics as a big thing, what you should look for in the start of your day for breakfast. But what does it mean with prebiotics, probiotics when it comes to your child's digestion?
Yeah, it can be confusing for parents. So probiotics are the actual live microorganisms that help to maintain a healthy, balanced gut microbiome. And we know that there are probiotics like L-reuteri, which help to promote better health and help kids when they're having issues like colic or excessive fussiness or even functional gut issues. And then prebiotics are the food for those healthy microorganisms. And we know that in breast milk, there are oligosaccharides, or also called human milk oligosaccharides, or HMOs, which can help provide the food for those organisms and help promote a healthy immune system.
Absolutely.
Gerber Good Start Gentle Pro and Soothe Pro powder infant formulas, those are modeled after the complete nutrition and gentleness of breast milk. So they contain probiotics and 2-FL-HMO, which is a prebiotic really similar to the one found in significant levels in breast milk.
Right. And I think what that does also, too, for the concerns or misconceptions that, so many new mothers have when it comes to providing breast milk, and for those who think that, that's the only way, that formula nowadays is very special in the idea of getting those other nutrients, and what you mentioned with the probiotics and stuff is to kind of, change the conversation of that, formula is just as good as when it comes to the healthy mother's breast milk. And that idea, too, I wanted to bring up, this was fascinating here, as this was mentioned, that even, is it possible that a cesarean birth could impact a baby's gut?
Yes, it definitely can. And, I want to say, of course, we know that breast milk is the optimal food for babies, but there are some women who can't breastfeed or who choose not to breastfeed, and so formula is the only acceptable option in that situation, and we have really good options out there.
Yeah.
For C-section babies, what we know happens is that those babies aren't going through the birth canal, and so they're not getting exposed to that good, healthy bifidobacterium that's there. And so their microbiome can be disrupted. And if a mom is breastfeeding, it can help to reestablish that healthy microbiome, but it can be a slow process and sometimes not complete. So adding in a probiotic for breastfeeding moms and adding in a formula that has a probiotic for babies who are formula fed, especially for babies who are delivered via C-section or had any antibiotic exposure for mom or for baby, is really, really important.
Absolutely. And one more big one I want to mention here and ask you is when babies start eating the solid foods, anything a parent can do to help support the healthy gut when it now gets into the idea of the solid foods?
Yeah, so this is that time to avoid the hot dogs consistently, right?
Yeah.
And instead to focus on feeding the rainbow, really offering a diverse menu of healthy options. Fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains. We want to make sure that we are feeding the rainbow to our kids because we know that that's really, really important for establishing that healthy gut microbiome and for overall health and wellness.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking the time, and where can listeners go for more information?
Yes, for questions, Gerber actually has experts on call 24/7 to help with your dietary needs and gut health questions. And you can visit Gerber.com for more information on the importance of gut health as well as nutritional products to fit your little one's needs.
Absolutely. And Dr. Whitney Casares, medical doctor, MPH, FAAP, is board certified practicing pediatrician, author of the American Academy of Pediatrics, The New Baby Blueprint, and the Working Mom Blueprint, which is forthcoming, the founder of Modern Mommy Doc and the Modern Mommy Doc podcast. Mother of 2 young daughters and lives in Portland, Oregon. Thank you for taking the time today, Doctor. We greatly appreciate it.
You bet.
Absolutely. You guys have a good rest of the week. More AM Ocala Live as we're pretty much come to the end of it. As we say, stay tuned for Ocala Talks up next with Tom Schmitz. That'll do it for us today. AM Ocala Live. Special thanks to Tish, to Galen, Dan and Joe and Tom. Appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow. And until tomorrow, goodbye.
I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says he'll be there for Thursday night's debate against Joe Biden in Nashville, moderated by NBC's Kristen Welker. But he tells Fox and Friends,
Kristen Welker is terrible. I mean, she is totally partisan. Her father and mother are big supporters of Joe Biden for a long time. They're supporters of the Democrat Party, and she deleted her entire account.
her Twitter account, for one day last Friday. This debate will have the other candidates